5 of them were pulled from this river. Since then, 7 more bodies have been discovered nearby, all those of young prostitutes, according to police. And the number of missing increases steadily. 2 were added to the list this week. All the victims worked this strip near the Seattle airport, crammed with hotels, motels, and strip joints. Angry residents are demanding police do more to stop the killings. One young prostitute who operates along the strip said she's terrified every time she's picked up.
I don't know, I guess I'm just lucky that I never came across that certain freak.
Police say the victims are similar, runaways, very young, disturbed. Most were strangled, their bodies left nude. A police task force has little hard evidence, but it thinks a single psychopathic killer is responsible.
However, it would be illogical and improper from an investigative perspective to become that tunnel visioned and exclude the possibility of any copycat crimes or the possibility of a multiple suspect.
Police suspect other prostitutes might be able to provide leads, but because of their profession, they've been uncooperative. David Burrington, NBC News, Seattle.
The American Automobile Association reports that plenty of gasoline is available.
Recalls this afternoon. Robert Hager, NBC News, Washington.
Police in Virginia are investigating the execution-style murder of 5 women in the past 11 days. They don't know yet whether there is a pattern to these crimes, but the murder of people in series or serial murders has police departments across this country worried. As Dennis Murphy reports tonight, they're now working together to develop new leads.
They call it the work of the Green River Killer, probably one man who has murdered 13 young women near Seattle. Case unsolved. On the Gulf Coast, 2 drifters, Otis Toole and Henry Lee Lucas, have confessed to the killings of more than 200 women and children. Gerald Stano says he murdered 31 women in Florida. Motiveless, random killings, sometimes thousands of miles apart. A Justice Department investigator calls it terrifying, an epidemic. They're known as serial killers, and according to law enforcement officials, there are at least 35 of them roaming the country now, stalking victims.
There might be anywhere from 4,000 to 8,000 people killed by serial-type murderers in the country today.
There have been notorious serial killers throughout the country. In Florida, Ted Bundy suspected of murdering more than 30 women. In Chicago, John Wayne Gacy convicted of killing 33 young boys. And in California, Angelo Buono Jr. and Ken Bianchi convicted of 9 hillside strangler slayings, all deeply troubled sexually. Since 1978, 17 men have been convicted of killing 10 or more people.
Historically, they kill certain types of victims, women, homosexuals, and children.
There is almost always a pattern to the killings, a pattern not obvious to the local investigators left with a body and few clues. But the Jacksonville, Florida police hope to change that. As a model for tracking future serial killers, crime analysts there have painstakingly recorded hundreds of details of dress, mode of travel, and method of killing in the Lucas Toole murder cases. The information has been categorized and stored on computer. A summary of the study is on its way to every major police department in the country.
When we start tracking someone like Bundy, who had a particular way of killing, had a particular victim that he liked to attack, analysis can be successful in cases like that.
2 weeks ago, homicide investigators from 20 states met in Louisiana to compare notes on apparent serial killings. By the end of the year, federal budget permitting, there may be a computerized crime center in Washington that will allow them to share information in the same way. The computer may reveal the killer's pattern, but not his identity. Arresting and convicting serial killers is still, for the most part, a matter of luck. Dennis Murphy, NBC News, Miami.
Next, Kenley Jones.
Frank Burkholzer, NBC News, Las Vegas.
In Seattle, another grim discovery today that could be connected to the string of Green River murders which have shaken that West Coast city. Explorer scouts today found a 4th skeleton in a wooded area outside of town where 3 other skeletons were discovered this weekend. So far, 16 murders have been blamed on the Green River Killer. Most of the victims have been young prostitutes. This latest find would bring that gruesome total to 20, putting it among the largest mass murders in American history. Singer Marvin Gaye's soulful music filled the Los Angeles.
Defeated by 174 votes. Explorer scouts have found the remains of another human body buried on a wooded hillside near Seattle. The skeleton is the fourth to be uncovered in the Green River Valley in 3 days. Authorities fear it could be the remains of the 20th victim of a sexual psychopath who preys on young prostitutes. A federal judge has approved the largest...
Gilmore, NBC News, Moscow.
Police in Washington State believe they found the remains of another victim of the so-called Green River killer. The victim, identified Monday as 17-year-old Cindy Ann Smith, was last seen in March of 1984. Police believe that Smith is the killer's 37th known victim, all of them women ranging from 16 to 36 years of age. The murders began in summer of 1982, and since then an army of detectives and a multi-million-dollar computer system have been unable to crack the case. The White House is wasting no time looking for a candidate to succeed Supreme Court Judge.
Sandy Gilmore, NBC News, Moscow.
In this country, in Washington State, still another victim has been identified in the nation's longest list of unsolved murders, the Green River killings. 37 women have died, 9 missing, all thought to be victims of the same killer. John Sandifer of KING-TV in Seattle has the latest.
It was a familiar routine for the Green River Task Force, sifting through any remaining evidence at a site where someone, in this case 3 young boys, had stumbled across human remains. After the passage of 3 years, they would not find much more than a skeleton. Late Monday, the remains would be identified as those of 17-year-old Cindy Ann Smith, last seen in March 1984 hitchhiking from her mother's home to that of her sister in Seattle. She is victim number 37. Cindy disappeared from a strip of highway south of Seattle where no fewer than 18 other young women, mostly prostitutes, dropped out of sight beginning in the summer of 1982. The first grisly discoveries of their bodies was along the picturesque Green River, hence the name that has come to represent untold horror to many in the Northwest. The Green River murders have included victims ranging in age from 16 through 36. Most of their bodies have been recovered in wilderness dumping grounds in groups of 2, 3, and up to 7. The Green River Task Force has employed up to 50 full-time detectives and a multi-million-dollar computer system to crack the case. They have served at least 2 search warrants, but as of this morning, the killer remains unidentified. And Cindy Smith's disappearance was the last one in this area 3 years ago. John Sandifer for NBC News in Seattle.
Little past 6 minutes after 8 o'clock is the time.
On After 8 this morning, serial murderers, the people who kill again and again over a period of months or even years. According to an article in the current issue of Life magazine, 5,000 Americans were murdered by serial killers in 1983 alone. Their victims are strangers, their motives unknown. Ted Bundy, a former law student and young Republican, is on death row in Florida. He is suspected of killing more than 36 women. Henry Lee Lucas, a drifter, may have killed more than 360 people across the country, some of them with the help of a traveling companion, Otis Elwood Toole. Hillside strangler Kenneth Bianchi was convicted of killing 10 women. His cousin, Angelo Buono, was also involved. Christopher Wilder, millionaire builder and sportsman, was shot with his own gun after abducting at least 11 young women. 4 were murdered, 3 escaped, 4 are still missing. Others have avoided arrest. Since July 1982, 26 women, most of them prostitutes, have been found dead in Seattle, Washington, victims of a serial murderer who has been dubbed the Green River Killer. With us this morning from our affiliate KING in Seattle is Bob Keppel, the chief detective on that Ted Bundy case, now a consultant to the Green River Task Force. And in San Francisco at our affiliate KRON is Dr. Donald Lundy, a psychiatrist who has examined 12 serial killers. Good morning, gentlemen. Dr. Lundy, based on your examinations, is there a profile emerging that's common to these serial murderers?
There's a profile of these people, and that is that they are male, almost exclusively white males in their late 20s, between the age range of 25 to 35. They are highly intelligent with IQs in the 135, 140, and even above range. They are people who have had an obsession with sex and violence since the time they were children, and as 5-year-olds were known to be cutting off the heads and hands of their sisters' dolls, and at age 10 cutting up the family cat or dog, and then in adulthood actually acting out these fantasies they have that involve a combination of sex and aggression.
Well, why do they seem to go dormant there for a while between these bizarre childhood behaviors and the murderers themselves? They seem to live almost normal lives, superficially at least.
Well, there's both a period in maturation in terms of adolescence where, for who knows, developmental reasons, they aren't quite ready to go out and act out the fantasies that they've been having, although that period of development is a time of extremely active fantasy about such activities. Once they start killing, there are dormant periods in between the killings that may range from a few weeks to a few months. And what they're doing during that period of time is that they haven't lost interest in the subject, but rather they're reliving the past murder in great detail. Some go back to the murder site. Some have taken pictures, Polaroid pictures of the victim, and look at those and relive the experience, and that seems to keep them going for a matter of a couple of weeks, and then they start planning the next one, and that keeps them going for the next couple of weeks. These are the most carefully planned out, premeditated types of murder of all the kinds of murder that occur in this country.
Mr. Keppel, now that you know something about these serial murderers, does it help you find the next one, or does it just illustrate why it's so hard to find and stop these people?
One of the problems is that police departments don't recognize soon enough, and we've been guilty for years of not communicating to each other well enough, and by virtue of the fact these are traveling killers, they're very mobile, and our transportation systems are very open and fast, they can get from one jurisdiction to another very quickly and pretty soon be out of sight by the time we find the body and have any following leads to take care of.
You know, I think you may have just answered my next question. Why does it seem to be an American phenomenon? Is it because of our interstate highway system?
Well, it's very much...
Yes, go ahead.
Very much connected to the automobile. I think certainly the increased frequency of these kinds of killings in the United States versus Europe and elsewhere has to do in part with the car. Most other murders that are committed in this country and elsewhere occur in homes or apartments or on the streets or in bars or places like that. But this kind of killing is unusual in that it's almost always related to transportation, to travel by automobile. And the victims are either picked up hitchhiking or they are women who are stranded on a highway in a stalled car. The moral of I guess, that information is that one shouldn't hitchhike, or if your car is stalled, you should keep the doors locked and flash your lights until a police officer comes.
Mr. Keppel, does, your Green River killer doesn't quite match that profile, does he?
Well, he's picking on a different element of the population, and that appears to be, at this point, mostly prostitutes. And basically, it's all in the control that the serial killer can obtain over the victim, and prostitution makes it that much easier, as does hitchhiking.
Is there another explanation, Dr. Lundy, for why this Green River guy might be picking prostitutes?
Well, the motive in most of these killings is, in fact, sexual. There's a mixture of sexual and aggressive impulses in these people from an early age, as I said, and for various reasons, a number of them grow up being unable to experience any kind of sexual pleasure without some kind of violent activity associated with it. And they have a specific kind of victim in mind. It's not a senseless kind of killing or random series of victims like the recent massacre in San Ysidro, California. Rather, there is usually a woman of a certain age and sometimes even a particular hair color and hairstyle who represents somebody from this person's past. Often it's a mother. And in fact, often the mothers have been prostitutes of these killers, and as children they saw their mothers in action. And
Dr. Lundy, we've got to leave it there. It's a disturbing profile, but I suppose the more we know, the better. Good luck, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you.
At 22 after the hour, it's time for a station break.
Now almost disappeared from the illegal drug market. For a long time, people in the Seattle area and elsewhere in the Pacific Northwest have had a string of unsolved murders on their minds. They're called the Green River murders. Well, now, 2 prisoners in a San Francisco jail have said they killed some of the victims, who were all women. But David Burrington reports that for now, Seattle police are skeptical.
For 2.5 years, the Seattle area has been terrorized by the Green River Killer, so named when the first bodies, 5 of them, were pulled from this river. Many of the 26 victims were young prostitutes from Seattle. Today, this man, 25-year-old Robert Mathias, said he killed some of them. So do you consider yourself to be the Green River Killer that everyone has been talking?
No, not the Green River? No.
But one of them?
Possibly.
Seattle police say they want to talk to Mathias. Until they do, they're withholding judgment. Earlier, in an interview taped by NBC Seattle affiliate KING-TV, Mathias described how he supposedly killed the women.
It was raped and beaten and they were strangled.
How many? How many girls?
5.
Those 5 were only in the Seattle area. A man who says he was Mathias's accomplice said they killed at least 6 women elsewhere. He said they posed as police officers, often near the Seattle airport.
Use the badge each time?
Yeah, flashed the shield and talked to him. You know, he would talk to him nice. He said, look, you don't have nothing to worry about. You know, you're not going to be thrown in jail. We just want to ask you some questions and this and that. And the girls get in the car.
The apparent accomplice, Richard Carboni, said both he and Mathias had been sexually abused as children, and they hated prostitutes.
My solution wasn't to kill them. You know, would just let them go their own way. You see, well, Robert, he had this idea that he would help get rid of the trash. That was his, statement,
The man who heads the police task force in Seattle says he's skeptical.
I do have some very strong doubts about the veracity of what these men are saying.
After talking with the 2 men, Seattle authorities will decide whether to ask for extradition. David Burrington, NBC News, San Francisco.
Fleischmann's. It does your heart good.
This is the story of a murder mystery. Not just one murder, not 2 or 3. This mystery concerns the violent death of some 80 women. They were killed one at a time. No one knows why, no one knows by whom. But there is reason to suspect that they were murdered by the same person. Some of them are known as the Green River murders. But what about the rest? NBC's Bob Jamieson has more.
The Southern California sun, which brings beauty and brightness to San Diego, is in stark contrast to the growing darkness along the city's El Cajon Boulevard. Someone is killing the women whose lives are spent on that street. Prostitutes, drug users. When 20-year-old Melissa Sandoval's body was discovered in May, dumped in a rural area, the string of unsolved murders of women in San Diego County reached 25.
In your 18 years with this department, have you seen anything like this?
Absolutely not, no.
The killings have fallen into a pattern. Many of the victims had ties to El Cajon Boulevard. Most were prostitutes. Most were strangled. The victims were nude or partially nude. The bodies were dumped in clusters in rural areas near highways. It is a pattern chillingly familiar to other police on the West Coast. This is the Green River near Seattle, which gave its name to the worst string of unsolved serial murders in U.S. history. Female victims, most prostitutes, all believed killed by the same person. The 5 bodies of women pulled from the Green River starting in 1982 were only the beginning. With growing disbelief, police in Seattle's King County eventually tied the murders of 41 women and the disappearance of 7 others to the same killer, a serial killer they have never caught.
The hardest thing to come to grips with for a lot of us is that this could have occurred here in our community for such a period of time, and as we sit here, that person responsible is yet to be brought to justice.
And may be responsible for a lot more murders.
Certainly, if someone could kill 40 people, you could kill 60, and I just don't know where it ends.
What also haunts Evans and other investigators is that they don't know where it began. In the past 6 years, a string of murders, all strikingly similar, all unsolved, began in Vancouver in Canada and moved steadily south. Spokane, Seattle, Portland, and now San Diego. Almost 80 women. For Tom Guillen and Carlton Smith, who have followed the case in Seattle since almost the first Green River killing. The West Coast murders are connected.
It's hard to imagine how two killers working independently can make them look the same. There's just too much there.
Police in both cities privately conclude that the serial killer who murdered in Seattle is responsible for the Portland slayings and at least some of the 25 killings in San Diego. And the victims themselves may be helping their murderer avoid capture.
Their lifestyle, their personalities, the people they associate with are into illegal activities or on the fringe of illegal activities. That is frustrated to some extent our attempt, if you will, to get information. If these victims were a middle-class housewife, the suburban neighbor, if you will, it would be a wholly different type of case.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Hi. I hope everybody is having a great night. Let's see here.
What's it going to take to solve this crime?
Not that. I hope everybody's having a good night. Let's see here. Doing that. Heidi, 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 ho. I hope everybody can hear me. And yeah, anyway, hello. Tonight we're going to be talking about the Green River Killer. Ooh. And I do expect that this is going to be more than just tonight. So I'm going to call this part one because I'm pretty sure that we're going to be having more than one because there is a lot to cover with this case. So let me just get everything kind of situated here. Oh, I already got a request, a chat or a redemption request. Nice. So let's see here. Ah, that's not what I'm looking for. Iron Goat, are you still here? We're just getting started, so I'm not going to start right away because I like to let people kind of wander in a little bit before I get started with the story itself. This one is going to be kind of interesting because I actually remember when the Green River Killer was active. I remember because it happened right in my area, and I'll be showing you guys a map. I've lived in the same area forever, so I'll be able to kind of show you a map and give you kind of an idea. I'm not going to show you exactly where I live, of course, but I'll kind of give you an idea of, you know, how close it was to me while I was growing up, and all that good stuff. So yeah, and just so that you are aware, the people right there, those women, those are the women that have been attributed to the Green River Killer. Those are his victims, so we're going to have their pictures up for right now, just as an homage to them. I don't want to put his picture up necessarily right now because we're not going to go starting right in on talking about who he is. Just like with regular podcasts in the past, we will be talking about as much as about his background, about his early life, as we are about his crimes. So yeah, I mean, that'll be probably part two of the episode, is getting into who the Green River Killer was or is, because he is still alive. But he is in prison, thank God. But the first, I want to take the first episode to talk about, you know, kind of my, I don't want to say connection. I don't have a connection to the case per se, but I do live in the area, and I want to talk about the experience of growing up with a serial killer that is active in your area, and talk about that experience, and talk about what I remember, just what I remember things being like while growing up in that kind of environment. And then also I want to talk about his victims, and I'll go through the list of names that we have, and just going to generally talk about the area, kind of how it's set up, and then next Wednesday will be part 2, and then we'll be getting into the nitty gritty, talking about who the Green River Killer is, and his crimes, and how he operated. And depending on time, we'll be going through and talking about his arrest and such. But that might be part 3. Don't know. Just all depends on how things go and how they come up, and people chatting and people, which I definitely encourage. Definitely chat with me and let me know if you have any information that I don't cover, or if you have questions about what I'm talking about or anything, just let me know. So I'm gonna take a couple more minutes. We'll start about 6:10 on the story itself, or at least I'll get started a little bit. But yeah, I want to know about, if you're in the chat, if you're here watching, how are you doing? How's your Wednesday? It's Wednesday. How's your Wednesday going? And just, how are things? How's life? And what have you been up to? I just saw a streamer who was on earlier playing Amnesia, the very first one. And while usually he only streams for about 6 hours, he actually went a full, I think probably almost 9 hours. Oh, there you are. It's gone. I didn't want to mention you by name without you here. Did you actually finish it after I left to go take my shower? Wonder who would play Amnesia. Thursday is starting slow. Yeah, well, you're 9 hours ahead of me, so... Okay, I'll remember that. So, how was it? You did finish it. How was it? Hopefully, let's see here. There we go. Get that, because I was like, wow, that shadow is looking really weird on me. Yeah, I already knew that for sure. That is a weird looking game. Are you going to try the next one that you got for free? Just craziness. That was a crazy weird game for sure. Oh, so what happened well, I guess you can probably put what happened in the end for you, unless people don't want it to be spoiled, but there isn't many people here right now, so. Oh, okay. Did you find, what was his name? Was it Alexandra? Yeah, there you go. Just maybe not 9 hours worth. You must be tired. I can't imagine playing a video game for 9 hours. Or at least close to it. That's just, oof. Craziness. You had a hoot. Sounds like a good time. Have some beers, do a ritual, take someone's severed head. Oh my goodness. That's craziness. Oh, we had a hoot. So yeah, so anybody watching, Seth Gaming is the person who is playing Amnesia. And it is a weird game. Definitely has a lot of, I guess, I don't know, just a lot of weird stuff, a lot of suspenseful stuff, for sure. Called Justine. Oh. Oh, well, that would be cool, because that would kind of show, like, what would it be, like a prequel to what's going on or whatnot? Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, definitely full of suspense. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it must be late for you. Well, we're going to get started into the story, so everybody gather round. We're going to be talking about the Green River Killer, who was a pretty prolific serial killer here in the U.S. I mean, you go anywhere, you say the Green River Killer, and pretty much everybody's going to know who you're talking about. Yeah, that'll be cool. That'll be cool. That'll be cool to watch. So the Green River Killer started in about 1982. At least that's when the first victim that's been attributed to him was found. So in 1982, let's see, I was 5 years old. So little tidbit about how old I am. And so we were living up in what's called Kent, or the city of Kent, which is actually not too far from where I live now. And that is actually quite close to where he was working in, where he was doing his stuff in. So, so if I look at the list of names, the first victim that's attributed to him is Wendy Lee Caufield. She disappeared on July 8th of 1982, and she was found on July 15th.
Hello there.
Hi, Noelle Plays. How are you, Noelle? And so she was found in 1982, so that's why I say that he started about 1982. Now there is talk about a possibility of him starting up in Canada a little bit earlier than that, but they haven't been able to really, I don't know, prove that or connect him really to the victims themselves. So just to let you know, this right here, let me get rid of these right here. This right here is actually a map of King County, Washington, and that's the county that I live in now. Kent right here is where I was living when I was 5 years old. So as you can see, right up in here, well, I'm glad you did, Noelle. Hello. So right around in here, you see, and you can't see where I'm pointing probably with my mouse, but right here in this red box, and you can see like the entire body recovery went all the way out to North Bend, down to like the Buckley Enumclaw area, but really the cloister is like right in this box right here. So you can see his residence is right there in the middle of it, and as is where he was working, and then the victim encounters are all within that red box. So and so I lived right here and still do, basically. So I don't live in Kent anymore, but I do live nearby. So in 1982, like I said, I was 5 years old, so I was, starting kindergarten and stuff. But I do remember as I was growing up, because they didn't catch him until not that long ago, and so he was out there living his life and such that free as a bird for a while, and so I remember as I was growing up, people not wanting to go to the Green River. excuse me, because that's where I unfortunately, no, I can't zoom in. This is just a picture. But you won't even know where to pick up your coffee anyway, because I don't have my address pinpointed on the map. So pick up your coffee and your dinner and the massage, I think, is what so far is what I've racked up, right? But anyway, so this is so when I was growing up, so there's a river that goes through called the Green River, and that's where he was actually dumping the bodies. Usually was around in some of the parks. They did, you know, recover bodies that were not along the river itself, but at least but God, I got like a hair or thread or something like bugging my lips. See, this is the problem, guys. You don't know. If you don't wear lipstick or chapstick, you don't know how annoying it is to get like a hair or a thread, you know, like a fiber or something stuck to your lipstick. It's just not fun. But anyway, so as you can see, oh my gosh. Give me one moment. Yeah. Give me one moment. Ugh. Yeah, no, you don't know that at all. I had to go get my water. So anyway, so like I said, ooh, that was weird. So yeah, so he used, you know, and he stuck around his area, which was kind of amazing to me, you know, that if you're going to be a serial killer, to work within the area that you live, that you're living your life and everything, to dump the bodies, you know, in that area, that it just was kind of amazing that he stayed in that area and that he didn't like travel that far. I mean, this looks like it's far when you go to Enumclaw from like where his house is, but really that isn't that far. It's probably 45 minutes maybe to get from where he lived to you know, to Enumclaw. So so we have you know, quite a bit going on here. And like I said, he's been attributed 48, excuse me, I think so far 48 bodies of women, and most of them, if not all of them, were prostitutes, runaways, that type of thing. He made sure to target the part of the population that probably wouldn't be missed so much. So at least in his mind, they wouldn't be missed. You know, a lot of them, you know, definitely had families that were looking for them, that wondered where they were, even if the person was on drugs or the woman was on drugs or doing prostitution, you know, and things like that. They still have loved ones that, you know, that worry about them, that look for them at night, you know, to make sure that they're okay. Fishy!
Hello there.
You are a person I have not seen in the longest time. How are you doing, my dear? How are you doing? So yeah, so that's just kind of a rundown about, you know, how close I was to the area that he worked in. Now, of course, me growing up in the family household that I did, you know, I was not so much, I guess, in danger or whatnot, you know. Oh, that's no problem at all. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad. I hope everything is well for you and going okay for you. We are talking about the Green River Killer tonight. Ooh. And so, but talking more about the area that he worked in and his victims. That's what I'm starting out with. That'll be tonight for part 1. And part 2 will be kind of the rest of his story, which will be next week. But I'm so glad to see you, my friend. Busy is good, hopefully. Yeah, big one. So just as a recap for those just joining, the map that is here on the screen is actually where he lived, where he worked, and the victim encounters along with where the body recovery has been. So, you know, like I was saying, he really clustered it all together. Where he worked, where he lived, he also killed in the same area, and a lot of the bodies were put in the same areas where he lived and worked. So he did not want to travel too far outside of his comfort zone. That was his comfort. That's where he wanted to stay. So I, at the time in 1982, when he started things, I was 5 years old and we were living in Kent. And I don't know if you can see it, but Kent is kind of the middle to bit to the left, over next to where Covington is, right south of Maple Valley and Burien. So Kent is right there, and that's where I lived at the time that he started things. I still live kind of in the same area, but I don't live in Kent, so you can't find me there. But I do remember as I was growing up, when he was still working. So that was the year you were born. So I'm just about 5 years older than you. So which according to Seth Gaming, I'm a fossil. So, but I don't think I'm a fossil just yet. See? I am not a fossil. Rude. But I do remember as I was growing up hearing the stories about, oh, this victim was found, you know, this body was found at the Green River.
Hello there.
Well, according to Seth, you know, you're fine, Mishy, because you're actually younger. No, you're about the same age as him. I think you're younger than he is. Older? Oh my gosh, no, older, I think. Seth is 37. He's so mean. Anyway. Mishy is older, okay. Anyway, so, growing up, you know, hearing about the bodies were found, people were scared of going to the Green River. Anywhere along the Green River, which is actually a river that runs through the valley that I live in. It runs through it pretty predominantly. And so people were kind of afraid to spend any time in any parts. Vivian! Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in forever either. How are you? How are you, my friend? Yes, Mythion is the one that helped me put my my Discord up, so I'm so excited to see you both here. Yes, watch out, Seth. Mythion is Mishy's fiance, so he'll set you straight. Just blunt. Hey, he called me a fossil. I mean, my goodness. But I think he is real. Mishy knows. So people were scared to go around to the Green River. They were nervous. It seemed like every time you turned around, it seemed like there was another body that was found. And so he ended up racking up quite a body count. So he operated from 1982, about July of 1982, to 1998 is when his last known victim is found. So and it ranged anywhere from as young as possibly 12 on up to 38. So he didn't really have like an age range, which a lot of serial killers will have. You know, they'll be focused mostly like on young girls, or they'll be focused on older women. But he seemed to kind of span the age range. So I think mostly what he was looking for is just women that would not be missed right away. You know, these are women who were runaways, who were, you know, drug addicts or prostitutes, sex workers. So those are who he focused on to kind of get his rocks off, I guess. And it's sad because I was playing, when I first went live, I was playing on my starting screen some NBC newsreels about the Green River Killer. And it was kind of sad, you know, these women were described as, you know, people that wouldn't be missed, that's why that they were chosen for this serial killer. And, you know, people were out there, you know, protesting and saying, hey, you guys need to pay closer attention. You guys need to be solving this for these women that are missing and that are showing up. So that are showing up dead. So it was a very prominent case, of course, you know, here in Washington State, especially here in Western Washington, and especially where I was living, because, of course, that's where, you know, he was prominent. So my brother actually knows someone who worked with him in his truck painting company, not his, but the painting company that he worked in, and was there, I guess, the day that the killer was arrested. There we go. I'm like trying to think of the word. So I want to go through the names of the women because I think it's important to remember who they were. You know, they were someone. They were someone's daughter. They were someone's granddaughter. They were someone's aunt or sister, friend. You know, just someone that was loved by somebody else. And I hope that they were. I hope that all of them were able to come home and be buried by their family, because I can't imagine, and I've said this before, I can't imagine having someone lost, having someone fall victim to a serial killer and not be able to bring them home and bury them and say goodbye. You know, especially with within the last 6 months that my boyfriend, you know, passed away, we still haven't had a memorial for him. We still haven't been able to spread his ashes because we're kind of waiting for things to open up a bit more. But I can't imagine not having that opportunity to say goodbye. That really breaks my heart when it comes to especially some of these younger girls. You know, he really started out with young girls, and you know, maybe that's what he was attracted to. I don't know, but I want to go through the names of the women that I want to go through the names of the women that were his victims, go through their ages, when they disappeared and when they were found. So the first victim that has been attributed to him is Wendy Lee Caufield. She was the age of 16 years old. and it just... Okay, Seth, thank you so much too. I'm glad that you were able to come in as well. Good. Thank you so much for coming in. I really do appreciate you, my friend. And go rest. Yes. Definitely go rest. For sure. So is it gonna, yeah, it's gonna do that. So I want to put this up where I can kind of see it. I love your face too, Seth. Have a great night, and I'll more than likely see you tomorrow on your stream. So yeah, there we go. Okay, so Wendy Lee Caufield was 16. She disappeared on July 8th, 1982, and she was found on July 15th, 1982. So she definitely, she definitely was found pretty much right away. Giselle Ann Lovern was 17, July 17th, 1982. She was found on September 25th, 1982. So there was a time frame in between. And you'll see with this, he did not have a cool down period. And we talk about cool down periods as just the time from the one victim to the next. So if you see July 8th, July 17th, that's not very long. It's about a week later that the next victim went missing. Deborah Lynn Bonner, she was 23. She disappeared July 25th, 1982, and was found August 12th, 1982. Marcia Faye Chapman was 31. August 1st, 1982 is when she went missing, and she was found August 15th, 1982. Cynthia Jean Hines was 17. She disappeared August 11th, 1982, and she was found August 15th, 1982. I'm kind of assuming that if they have the same found date, they were probably found in the same area. Opal Charmaine Mills was 16. She disappeared August 12th, 1982, and was found August 15th, 1982. So, bam, August 11th, August 1st, August 11th, August 12th. I mean, it was just like bam, bam, bam. August 29th was the next one who disappeared, Terry Renee Milligan. She was 16, and she was found on April 1st, 1984. So there we go. 2 years. Almost 2 years later is when she was found. Mary Bridget Meehan, I think is how you say her name. She was 18. She disappeared September 15th, 1982, and she was found November 13th, 1983. So a year later she was found. Deborah Lorraine Estes, she was 15. 15. September 20th, 1982, and she was found May 30th, 1988. 6 years. It took them 6 years to find her. That makes me sad. 15 years old. Linda Jane Rule was 16 when she disappeared on September 26, 1982, and she was found January 31st, 1983. Denise Darcel Bush was 23 when she disappeared on October 8th, 1982, and she was found on June 12th, 1985. So right now we are at number 11, and we are still in the year of 1982. I'm not sure, and I'm sure we'll be talking about this, and we'll find out when we talk about his what was I saying? I don't know. We'll find out probably what his trigger was, or at least kind of get an idea of what his trigger might have been, because he really ramped it up. Like, there was no, so far what we can see, there was no kind of trying things out, and then it kind of just eventually led up to where he had this spree. It's like he just went running right out the gate. And so being number 11, and in 1982, it looks like he got about 16 in 1982. That was his count in 1982. And so how this man went so long without being detected is just, a testament to how far we've come. I think that if he was active more today, he probably would not have the body count that he has now because of DNA and things like that. So I'm really thankful for the advances that we've had in being able to catch people who, just do these awful things to innocent people, or to people that, well, yeah, I mean, they're innocent. Just because someone's a sex worker or a runaway or uses drugs does not mean that they are any worth, or they are any less worthy of attention or of love. So that was Denise Darcel Bush. Shonda Leah Summers was 16 when she disappeared on October 9th, 1982. She was found August 11th, 1983. Shirley Marie Sherrill was 18 when she disappeared between the 20th and 22nd of October 1982, and she was found June 14th, 1985. So, I mean, if you think about it, that is almost 30 years ago today, because it's the 21st. So yeah, 28 years, I believe. No, 38 years. Wow, I don't know math. I do not know how to add. Because it's, 82, 92, 2002, 2012, 38 years. And so, Shirley, all of these, it just makes me sad. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. Rebecca Becky Marrero was 20 when she disappeared on December 3rd, 1982. She was found December 21st, 2010. And I think that's the longest one between when she disappeared and when she was found. And I believe that she was found because of DNA evidence that had come up. So yeah, I mean, and if you guys want to interject and say anything, I'm saying these names and, I don't want to just be there, blah, 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 I want to, I want to interact with you guys. So if there is anything that, you want to interject or you want to say, definitely pop in and say it, this is not a, let's have a quiet moment for all of these victims, which we should eventually, but I'm gonna keep going. So, but if you are here and you want to say hello or you want to say something, just let me know. Colleen Renee Brockman was 15 when she disappeared on Christmas Eve, 1982, and she was found May 26th of 1984. So almost 2 years later. Sandra Denise Major was 20 on when she disappeared as well on Christmas Eve, 1982, and she was found December 30th of 1985. So he abducted both of those women on the same day. Alma Ann Smith was 18 when she disappeared on March 3rd, 1983, and she was found on April 2nd, 1984. Dolores Laverne Williams was 17 when she disappeared in early March of 1983, and she was found March 31st, 1984. Galen Matthews was found in, hold on just a sec. Oh, Lord. What am I trying to do? Oh my goodness! Yogurts? it scare me. Thank you for that. Oh my gosh, that actually did make me, like, jolt a little bit. My goodness. How are you, yogurts? And I do want to say, to my VIPs and my subscribers, you actually, in the Discord, will be able to, in the Discord, I do have a channel called The Green River Killer, and I'm putting a lot of the items that I'm using in tonight's stream, or in this series. I'm putting newspaper clippings in there and photos, and so if you are a VIP or if you are subscribed to me, you're able to go in and view that channel and interact, talk about and chat about that. So just to let you guys know. Mishy, I know, it scared me too. I was not expecting it. I do have some sound commands and new commands. If you look before, or if you look below the stream, in my panels down there, it does have a list of the commands and of the sound alerts that you can play around with and have fun with. So, let's see here. Galen Matthews was 23 when she disappeared on April 10th, 1983. She was found September 18th, 1983. And so here in April, so I'm going to start grouping them together because I feel like, if I go one by one, we'll be here forever. And I know that nobody in here really knows these, or does know these women. And so I don't want this whole stream to just be me reading off names. I want to honor these victims and I want to remember their names for sure. And that's why I'm doing this, because they deserve to have their names. If you have noticed, I have not said his name, the serial killer's name. I have not said his name yet. And that's because I want to say his victims' names before I say his name, because they are way more important than he is. So in April, Galen Matthews, Andrea Marion, who was 23, Andrea Marion Childers, who was 19, Sandra K. Gabbert was 17, Kimmy Kai Pitzer was 16, and Marie M. Malver was 18. And they were found, they all disappeared in April of 1983, and they were found in various times, so between 1983, September 18th, 1983, and September 26th of 2003. So, and it doesn't look like any of them were found together, so, it was like the 10th, the 14th, and two on the 17th, and one on the 30th. Like I said, not much of a cool down. Yogurts is all proud of himself. In May, Carol Ann Christensen, Martina, who was 21, Martina Teresa Authorley was 18. Cheryl Lee Wims was 18 as well. Yvonne Shelley Antosh was 19. And Carrie Ann Royce was 15. And they all disappeared in May of 1983 and were found ranging between, looks like, May of 1983 to November of 1984. No, March of 1985. So, so again, not much of a cool down. The 3rd, the 26th, the 22nd, the 23rd, and the 31st. Although Carrie Ann Royce, they're not sure exactly when she disappeared. It could have been May 31st to anywhere between that and June 13th. In June, there are only 3 victims. Constance Elizabeth Naon, who is 19, Kelly Marie Ware, who is 22, Tina Marie Thompson, who is 21. They all disappeared in June of 1983 and were found ranging from October 27th of 1983 to April 20th, 1984. It looks like Constance and Kelly were found pretty close together, so in October 27th and 29th of 83. In August, there was only one victim, and that was April Dawn Buttram, who was 16, and she was found in August 30th of 2003. So there was a 20-year span between when she disappeared and when she was found. In September, there were 3 victims: Debbie Mae Abernathy, who was 26, Tracy Ann Winston, who was 19, and Marie Sue Feeney, who was also 19. They disappeared in September of 1993 and were found between March of 1984 and May of 1986. In October, 3 more victims. So kind of interesting, we're seeing 3, 3, 3 now. But Mary Sue Bello was 25, Pammy Annette Event was 15, and Delise Louise Plager, I think is how you would say her name, was 22. They all disappeared in October of 1983 and were found between February of 1984 and August of 2003. So another 20 years between those two. In November, there was one victim, Kimberly L. Nelson, who was 21, and she was found in June of 1986. Lisa Yates was the only one in December 1983. She was 19, and she was found in March of 1984. In February, there was one, Mary Exetta West, who was 16. She disappeared in 1984 February and was found September 8th, 1985. Cindy Ann Smith was 17. She disappeared March 21st, 1984, and she was found in 1987. Patricia Michelle Barzak, I think that's how you say her name, Barzak, was 19. She disappeared in October of 1986, and she was found February 3rd, 1993. Roberta Joseph Hayes was 21 when she disappeared. Again, the only victim in February of 1987. She was found September 11th, 1991, 10 years before 9/11. Marta Reeves was 36. She disappeared March 5th, 1990, and was found September 20th, 1990. Marta Reeves, or I'm sorry, I just did her. Patricia Yellowrobe was 38 when she disappeared in 1998, and she was found in August of 1998, so January to August. Now, there are 3 Jane Does that have not been identified, ranging from the age of 12 possibly to 24. And they were found March 21st of 84, January 2nd of 86, and August 21st of 2003. That's 49 victims that have been attributed to Gary Ridgway. And there's his name. That is the Green River Killer. And so he had so many victims and not a lot of cool down time. Although it looks like he kind of slowed there in the end, but of course he was getting older, right? He wasn't the young spry man that he used to be. So it looks like he did start to kind of wind down on his spree. So mostly he was active, really active between 82 and 83. In 1984, he only had 2 victims. And then it became 1 for 86, 1 for 87. And then 1990 had 1, and 1998 had 1. So he had really slowed down during that time. So I can't... Reading that list is hard to read because there's so many young women who were his victims. Women who, some of them had lost their way, some of them had, hard backgrounds, and to meet that kind of end is just extra sad to me because they didn't deserve that. They didn't deserve that end. They didn't deserve to meet someone like him. And so to know that, someone as young as possibly 12, had met up with him. But, we have like 15 and 16 and 17. These are girls that should have been in high school, you know, going to prom and going to games and such. But of course, there are so many girls out there, so many boys out there, young people who have, you know, home lives and things like that that create a situation where they need to get out of the house, and so they end up leaving. They end up, you know, working on the streets, living on the streets, meeting up with very horrible, distasteful people who victimize them and even can kill them. And it makes me sad, because I think, and I say this every time, we talk about young victims. These are victims, or these are people that they're not getting to. Yeah, so Mishy, you know what I'm talking about. You know, these are people who aren't getting the chance to fall in love, to have a family, to get married, or go to college, or any of that. You know, some of them who are on drugs, or who, you know, are sex workers or whatnot, you know, they don't have the chance to get out of that life, to turn around and make something, you know, better for themselves. To me, that is truly a very hard pill to swallow, because I believe that everybody should have the chance to be able to make it. You know, I'm not talking about, you know, going out and just making everything so easy on everybody. I mean, that would be nice if we could, but that's not possible. But to be able to create an environment where someone can pull themselves out and can, you know, make their lives better for themselves. They didn't get a chance to do this, and because of Gary Ridgway, because of the Green River Killer, and it just it tears at me to know that. So so that is part of the reason why I wanted to go through the list. I know it was kind of boring, probably for people, because there are so many of them. I mean, there are 49. But I really wanted to make it a point to say their names, because they are not forgotten. They are not worthless. They are not. They are very much worthy of being remembered, of being talked about before we even go and talk about him, because he's not the important part of the story. They are the important part of the story. He's just the catalyst that brought him into our view. So yeah, so Mishy, I bet you that makes you want to hug your daughters. I know if I had daughters, that would make me want to hug them. Let's see here. So the Green River Killer has been a prominent, well, yeah, definitely, right? Because I mean, you know, especially where you're living, there's been some prominent serial killers in that respect, for sure. Why does it say? Well, that's different. Sorry, guys, I got distracted by something. It says my subscriber count was 13 when I started this, but now it's 14. So, does that mean that someone renewed? I don't know. Anyway, sorry. You're back! Okay, I'll give you your hug. Here's your hug. I hope you're doing better. Anyway, so yeah. I've been talking for a while. I need a drink. So that is part 1 of this. So, let's see here. I also have, what else did I have? Oh, yeah. So here's just a list of all the victims and kind of where they were found in that area. And again, I am right, I mean, this is Kent right here. So this is where I was living, you know, right here. And so the Green River kind of flows through the valley like this, and it goes all the way through. Oh, you won and lost twice. Aw. I know. So yeah, anyway, so, you know, that's the Green River. That's kind of where, he had, left some of his victims to be found. I don't like to say he dumped the victims. I hate talking about victims like that. I hate saying that he dumped the bodies because that makes them sound like trash. Even though he treated them like trash, I don't want to talk about them like trash. So I will say that he left the victims by near the Green River to be found. Some were hikers that found them. Some were, I think there were even a couple kids that found them. So, yeah, he has quite the list, and it's very sad to think about. Again, like I said, if you're a VIP and or you are subscribing to me, you can see the in my Discord, you can see the channel, the Green River Killer, and you can see some of this information that I am posting here. And so you can follow along, or you can even look at stuff that I haven't even looked at, or I haven't talked about on stream. Eventually I will, or some of it I won't. It all depends on time. So I am putting any of my background information in there so that you have access to it. So, and that's what I'm going to continue to do from now on, is my VIPs and my subscribers will be able to review the, so yeah, I guess, you know, talking about how this is going to change a little bit. One of the changes is that my VIPs and my subscribers, you will get access to the supporting documentation that I gather in order to do the stream. So that's one of the perks if you subscribe to me, or if I deem you worthy for a VIP slot. That is one of your perks. Coming up in the stream, I am going to have other perks for VIPs and for subscribers. And, you know, things like sound alerts and you know, I'm thinking even possibly creating sound alerts for my VIPs. But we'll see about that. And so, yeah, I'm making some changes to how I do the podcast. And so I hope that you guys have liked part 1 so far, and that it was at least somewhat informational, somewhat entertaining a little bit. I know when I went through the names, it probably wasn't all that entertaining, but but I hope that that this new kind of format that I'm trying to build, or that I'm trying to change it to, will be good. I hope so. I hope that it will be worth watching. And so I am also going to start editing these and putting them on YouTube. So so hopefully that will work as well. We'll see, though, because I'm not a video editor. I've never been a video editor, so we'll see if I can do it. But it should be good. I'll figure it out. So yeah, I mean, that is the part 1 of the Green River Killer. Not a great guy. Like I said, I remember when he was active here, and like he spanned from 82 on to, you know, when he was finally caught. I think it was early 2000s when he was finally caught and arrested. So and I remember when that happened, that was a huge surprise to everybody around here, that he had finally been caught, because I mean, he was quiet for the longest time, so we all thought either he died, he was in prison, whatever. And so it was really interesting when he finally was caught, and the trial. So we'll be going through that. We'll be going through his arrest, going through his trial, and some of the shenanigans that he tried to pull, if I remember right, and also his, as much of his early life, or his non-serial killer life, how that all went. So, yeah. And like always, I like to end on a good note. So tell me something good. Mishi, you're still here. Mithyan, hopefully you're still here. I know it's probably really late for you. Iron Goat, you're here. Tell me something good. Because y'all know I don't like to end on a sour note. I don't like to end on the killers themselves. I like to end on good things. So I'm trying to think, what's a good thing for me? Well, my dog turned 18 this last week. I think on Monday is when she turned 18. So she's an old lady, but she's still so sweet, and I love her. And she's a fluffy little thing. She's snoring right now on my bed, but as I look over at her. But yeah, she turned 18 years old, if you can believe it. 18. So come on, chat. Tell me something good. Tell me something good about what's in your life, what's been going on with you. You bought a cat. Ooh. a corner brush. Oh, so that when he rubs up against the corner, instead of it messing with the wall itself, you've got a comb there. Yes. No, those are cool. You're excited for him to get that more than you are for the other things you order for yourself. You're over in the UK, right? You're still over there. You're still living over there, right? I think so. I know that you're trying to get over to the US, but I'm pretty sure that that Mishi probably wouldn't be saying, "Hi, honey." She would have been like, "Yeah, he's here with me, yay!" And Mishi, I didn't know that you had children. So, so that's interesting to hear about you. 15 and 18. Hopefully soon. I know, hopefully soon. Of course, with all the turmoil that's going on, I don't know if you want to move over here. There's a lot of anger and a lot of sadness going on in this country right now. So who else? Yogurts, are you still here? Tell me something good. And if you're lurking, thank you so much for the lurk. I really do appreciate it. I never call out anybody who is lurking because there are always reasons why people lurk. And so if you are lurking, I appreciate you. I am so glad that you're here listening. And if you want to actually send me, a whisper to say, hey, I was there listening, I appreciate it. I always appreciate it when people say, hi, I was listening. Oh no, that's okay, Mishi. And you may have. I do not think that my brain is the greatest thing out there. So there is absolutely 100% possibility that that you did tell me and I just didn't remember. And I apologize for that. You're still working from home? Me too, and I love it. And I think that I didn't call you out. Oh my goodness. I am still working from home as well. I love it. I think it's going to become a permanent thing because they don't really have room for my group at the office. And they're trying to lower their carbon footprint. So it sounds like there's a possibility to save money and all that kind of stuff that they're going to allow us to continue to work from home. So I'm happy about that. You started doing work for Instacart. I've done that. How are you liking it? I love you too, Neon. Yeah, and so for anybody, those sound commands that you're hearing, the murder and the roar and the suspense that I played earlier, if you look down below my stream in the panels, there's actually a list of them that you can type in chat. That actually kind of scared me. Yeah. See, I had a hard time with Costco just because most of the time the people were ordering, they were ordering things that were so heavy and so bulky, but it is good money. Yes, yogurts, isn't that awesome? I think that is one of the best and biggest benefits of working from home, especially for parents. I'm not a parent myself, but for parents is that you actually get to spend time with your family now. You're not away from home all the time. And, for me, it's like, it's nice. I work from home. So if my mom needs someone or something, she lives with me. And so if she needs something, I'm right there to help her out with it. So it's actually really nice. But yeah, so, a blessing in disguise. That's true. That's true. I mean, if it weren't for COVID, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to work from home. I've always wanted to. I've always wanted to work remotely because my job does not require me to be in the office. I can do it wherever I am. And so with COVID, that actually became a reality, and they have found they didn't want to do it initially because they thought that it would be really hard to manage people and make sure that the work was getting done. But they were actually quite surprised that, we are all adults and that we can do our job even when we don't have our manager sitting there staring over our shoulder. Imagine that. Starting next month. Oh, my first job, well, technically my first job was a babysitting job, but I don't really count that. My first actual job where I had taxes taken out and everything was McDonald's. That's where I worked. Yep. That's, and for the most part, I enjoyed working there because I made some good friends there that I actually still talk to on Facebook every once in a while. But yeah, it definitely was a good job to start out with. And I ended up being there for like 4 years. Oh, another good thing that's exciting for this month, or for this week. I have now officially lost 20 pounds in the last 6 months. 20 pounds. I'm very proud of myself for that. So that's my something good. There we go. I mean, puppy turning 18, yeah, that's good, but I'm very proud of myself for that accomplishment. So yeah, I was looking, it was weird. So, I started doing Twitch Sings and, had video on myself. And it's kind of interesting because I put up, I picked up a screenshot of myself singing back when I first started. Then there's a screenshot of myself singing, months later after I've lost, some of the weight. And there is such a difference. You can totally tell the difference between, when I first started Twitch Sings and now. It's amazing. You lost 25 pounds in 3 months. Be careful with how fast you're losing that, but good job. Congratulations on losing 25 pounds. Just make sure you're doing it safely, please. I always say that, you know, I'm not always good at eating well or exercising or anything like that. So I don't have a lot of room to talk, but I'm very proud of you, Mishi, for losing the weight. That's awesome. That is amazing. So yeah, that's my something good. Neon, did you give us something good? You are my mod after all. What is your something good? Right? Yes, so Mishi, that was one of the things that I really love about Instacart, and I need to get back into doing it. I kind of stopped because of the COVID thing, because I have diabetes and my mom has a very weak immune system. So I stopped doing Instacart because, you know, being around all those people in the store and stuff, I was kind of nervous about. But yes, one of the things I love about Instacart is that it does get you out. You were walking all over stores, especially when you're trying to find that one little thing that you cannot find because you've never heard of it before, don't even know where to find it, even though they tell you or they try to tell you where it is. Sometimes that's not where it is. And then the heavy lifting, you know, like I was saying with Costco, you know, all the waters, oh my gosh, the water, having to lift that up and put it into your car and then lift it up and take it to the person's door. It definitely does help with your weight loss. So that's awesome. So, right. You know what I'm talking about when I say the waters. Those packets or the packs of like, how many are in a pack? Like 24 or something like that. Those things are heavy. Well, good for you. Yes, that will give you exercise. I didn't think about that after you said that you had worked for that you were working for Instacart. That is awesome. I've been doing some DoorDash, because all you have to do is just really go into the place, grab the food, come out and give it to the person. So there's not a lot of interaction with people. But I think I'm going to be starting Instacart back up because you can actually make pretty good money with it if you do it right. So your roommates both bought new vehicles. So you're looking for a new vehicle too? Nice. Even though you're currently unemployed. Ugh. How long have you been unemployed for, Neon? That really sucks. Sometimes, you know, with the streaming and stuff, because I do love streaming. I do. I absolutely love streaming. I love talking to everybody. I have loved putting this together. You finally have your own car. Wonderful. But you know, I love doing all of this. There is a part of me that is so like tempted to want to do this full time. I'm not going to, but because my job pays me very well and I like it. But you know, there is a part of me that would love to do this full time. COVID layoff. Oh, so sorry to hear that. That sucks. Yeah, I know people who were laid off just before COVID, like the whole push for COVID started. So they get laid off, and then due to just an economical thing, and then COVID happens, and so they're having a hard time finding a job, you know, to get back to. So yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, you know, you can look for a job, sure, but that doesn't mean that there was any available. You should look at what Mishi and I were talking about, Instacart or DoorDash or things like that, because that actually might be a viable option for you, maybe. But you do have to have a car. Stump, how are you doing, Stump? How's it going? Woo woo. The one you want. What do you want to do? Let's give a clap for all the people in chat. So Stump, we're doing tell me something good. Tell me something good about today or this week. Give me some good news, because we just got done talking about the Green River Killer Part 1, and I don't like ending on the Green River, or I don't like ending on the serial killer. I like ending on something good. So tell me something good about today. So Neon. Oh, I think you were saying something about that. Federal Air Marshal. Ooh, that's a hefty title. Hefty job. That's awesome, though. I think you were mentioning that the other day when I was playing Rocket League. You said federal. I think you're supposed to keep yourself incognito, though, aren't you? It would definitely be an interesting job, like, because I think for the most part, the flights would be boring. You just would be sitting there and nothing happens. I think it would be pretty rare for you to have to step up and do something. TSA, TSO. Yep. I don't know if Stump heard me or whatnot, or if he was just flying by to say hello. Yes, unless something goes down. Yeah. But that would be a pretty interesting job. I would think you would get to see a whole lot of places just to fly around. For sure. I love that movie, Bridesmaids. Do you know, I believe, if I remember right, Melissa McCarthy, right, that's her name, Melissa McCarthy, I think the guy who played the TSA agent is actually her husband. I believe that that's her actual husband in real life. If I remember correctly. Yeah, travel. That's fun. I would not want to be I don't even know what they're called. A flight attendant? Is that what they're called now? Stewardess. I don't think that I would want to be, because people whining at me, tell them to shut up. It wouldn't go well. I only have so much patience. And then there's the drunk people. It looks like Stump did a flyby. Bye, Stump. So yeah. Flight attendant, yeah. I'm trying out, like, putting my lighting somewhere different, because I feel like my camera, I feel like I'm blurry, but maybe I'm not.Maybe it's just my eyes. But I've got to figure out a different way for lighting and such, because I eventually want to put, like, some lights behind me. I want to put some lights behind me and stuff, and kind of, make it a little bit different, but yeah. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yes. I love my woots. Let's see here. I'm simping 70% for myself right now. Oh, yeah, no worries. You're simping 50% right now, Mithyan. You have a good rest, my friend. Thank you so much for stopping by. Just know I never expect you to be here. I always love it when you do show up and that when you're able to be here. I so appreciate you and all the effort and all the stuff that you have done for me. You are right on. You are one of my VIPs for sure. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. Go get some sleep. Let's see. Oh, only 51%, Neon. I am so glad that you were able to be here. That's wonderful. So yeah, I think that I'm going to be packing it up here in a minute. Here soon. It's been almost 2 hours. Wow. We talked a lot tonight. 63%. Well, it's over half. Yogurts, 81%, huh? Oh, Neon. Breaking my heart here. Yogurts, that's what I'm talking about. 99% amazing, that's right. 33%, Mishy. You're a simper. I love that meter. I really do. It's made me laugh so many times. I need to come up with a reward system for if certain milestones are hit, you know, with that, because it's random. So, yeah, well, Neon, you gotta kick it up, man. You can't let time just sit there. It's gotta be all the time if you want to keep that 90-something%. You're still a little depressed? Just need some sugar and you'll perk up. Aw. Mishy, I think you should put !love and then put Mithyan's name. Because it'll hopefully give you a high percentage of love between the two of you. Let's see. Oops. Uh... 65%? Okay. Oh, you gotta put his username after it. So do !live like I did above. Need some sugar. Well, who are you getting your sugar from, Neon? There you go. Only 27%. Stream Elements is drunk. There's way more love between you guys there. I always am like, Stream Elements, you don't know me. Eight Ball has spoken, Neon. Oh, see? Look at that. I know, Mishy, how is that even possible? It's not. Stream Elements is drunk. I'm actually hungry. That is amazing. I'm actually hungry right now. I haven't actually had dinner, so I should probably go get some dinner, but I'm having way too much fun here. So yeah, I'm going to be putting together in the panel that I have below the stream, I'm going to be putting together some of the other commands that I have and creating some more, you know, so that we can all just have some fun together. Tomorrow, I might be streaming. I think I will be streaming. And if I am, then I'm going to be streaming probably some Rocket League or a game of some kind. Moobot is your friend. Yeah, well, Moobot only said perhaps. So the other two just flat out said no. Let's see here. Yes, and everybody, I do have a merch store. Please check it out. I'm going to be ordering myself a oh my god. 16% stream elements.
Wait, I don't have my belt or my shoes. Don't leave me!
The sound alert worked. I love it. I love you too. What, Tia? Did I what? Yeah, I do have merch. I do. It actually is below the stream, but let's see here. The store is right here. That's the store link right there. All kinds of stuff, t-shirts and sweatshirts. There's also mugs and stuff for your phone, I think, and yes. Yes. So that one worked. Lurk worked. So does this work?
Wait, I don't have my belt or my shoes. Don't leave me!
I love it. So now it'll say that whenever someone says lurk or be right back. Oh, Neon, boo. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so yeah, I'm going to be actually buying myself a sweatshirt or a t-shirt here soon. I've heard from what I know that Designed by Humans place actually has really great fabric for...
Wait, I don't have my belt or my shoes. Don't leave me!
That's going to make me laugh every time. But yeah, so it's I guess really good quality for the fabric and stuff. So what, Tia? No, not yet. So I do want to get those on there because those little guys are really cute. But for right now, it's just the two things that my sister made for me. So okay. Well, I will get those in there and designed. Yes, those little guys, they are so cute. I love them. It does not exist. Oh, what is Nightbot trying to do? Nightbot. Let me get in there. Just because I'm not ready to leave you all yet. Let's see. Commands. Why is it... Yeah, I don't have anything for that, so why... That's weird. That's weird. Oh well. Big brains, yes. Oh, thank you so much for the biddies, Neon. Roar for not ready to leave yet. Oh my gosh, Yogurt's just totally like he did totally made me jump when he did that. He came in and put that in there and I was in the middle of talking. Made me jump. I was like, oh. Yes. And we also have oh, no worries, Tia. Thank you so much for coming in and saying hi. Love you. You know I'm always there on Discord if you need me. So yeah, well, I hope that everybody is having a great evening. I think that I'll be switching over, you can't spell. No worries. Yeah, I think that, I might actually switch over to a game. Let me, it's not what I was looking to do. Get rid of all these tabs here. Aw, Tia, you need a hug? I'll give you a hug. I love you, Tia. I know, right, Neon? You know, sleepy always gets in the way. I was really sleepy trying to play Rocket League last night. Yeah, that's really fun. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe I'll switch over to a game. Because there's one that I want to try that I got. I wonder if... let's see here. I had a lot of stuff open. Sheesh. Yeesh. No, Yogurts. I did not. And I never expect to, because I am horrible. Of course. And so you guys also just know that you have this as well. I think it needs to have the ad off. Of course, Stream Elements is drunk, so it thinks that Tia hugged herself, but I actually hugged you. I'm wondering, do I have... I do have that. Oh, I do have it installed. Okay. Maybe that's what I'll go do. Or that's what I'll do. I also have there... Let's see here. There is... there is... Oh. It is. Let's see. We're just gonna spam Tia with all kinds of hugs and love because she needs it. There we go. I like that one better. I like that one much better. And then there's also this one. All right, Yogurts, thank you so much. Thank you for all the simping. Gotta get ready for bed. Oh my goodness, Neon. Do you need a napkin for the drool? I got a napkin for you. I love you too. But yeah, so I've got all kinds in there. We also have he just ran with it. So yeah, so I am going to switch over to a game. I think that I'm going to play a new game that I have. But I gotta put you guys over on this screen. What is this map? This map is actually the map of all the victims of the Green River Killer and where they were found. So that is all of them up there. It's crazy to think. And so I've got to switch these so I can read that. And then I think I will put this on the screen. So why that's doing that? Why? What is going on here? There we go. I know. See, is escape the lost kingdom. Right? Yeah. I totally. Okay, Senior Fartface, thank you for the follow. It's quite the name you got there, and the tag that you have. Okay. Okay, so I want to. Oh, I can't see. I can't. Oh, jeez. Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on. Oh. Hold on. Suspense. No, I'm still here. I'm still here. We're still good. I just, trying to figure out what I'm looking for. No, that's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm looking for. Well, where did that go? What? Oh, there it is. Oh, jeez. There we go. Good light. And I don't want this one on here anymore. Oh my gosh. So, I'm not really good when it comes to these electronic things. But I'm getting there. Hold on. There we go. Hold on for one more day. Yes. Let's see if it comes up now. Not coming up. Wait, why is it not playing? Why is it not playing? I guess maybe... Let's try this. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get it up there. Wow, that's really loud. Arabian Nights, yes. Well, I'm trying to get it there, but for some reason the game capture isn't working. So maybe I'll have to do it as a window capture. Yeah, no. Do. Oh, jeez. What? Hold on, guys. Sorry. I'm just trying to figure out how to do this. This is not working. This is not working. Wait, what did she say? She is lovely. I love my Tia. Tia, you go to sleep. Why Why is this not working? Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on for a sec. This way. Maybe if I do it this way. Oh, you want to stay up with friends? Yes, we love you. Why is it not capturing it though? Okay, so I guess it's not going to be that game because if I can't get it to go, then we can't play that game. So, what should we play? What should we play together? You know, Tia, if you do want to stick around, let's play this. Let's play this. 'Cause this will be fun. I think that's what I want. Yes. Because I know it's got to. That is loud! That is loud in my ears. There it is. Yay! It did do it. Yay! Okay. We are gonna do this. Ah, I can't spell. I spelled that right, didn't I? Yeah. All right. And then the title will be set to Community Games. All right. Oh. You guys can get to know me a little bit. Get to know each other a little bit. So, do you know this game, Neon? This game's fun. Okay, we're doing a live show. No, no, back. Come on, what is it doing? Hold on. Come on, where's X? Oh. Ugh. Oops. Okay. Whoa! All right, let's see if that will work now. It's fun. Continue. Save the changes. Connect. Yes. Okay, done. Alright, so what you guys are going to do is there's going to be a question that comes up, and I have to choose my answer, and then you guys are then going to choose the answer that you think that I chose. So this is a way for you guys to get to know me. We can have conversations. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so which is more satisfying to eat by throwing and catching in your mouth? M&Ms or popcorn? So what do you think that I am going to choose? So you're going to put either A or B in the chat. So, yeah, so Mishy's in there. So, Neon, put B again because I don't know if it caught yours. Tia, you gotta put A or B. Just the letters A or B. I think it has to be by itself, which really sucks. There you go. Did it catch it in time? You guys all, except for Neon, you guys chose the wrong one. It would be popcorn. I don't eat a lot of candy. So popcorn would be the one that I would probably be caught eating. And I like this because it actually gives you also like what the rest of the world chooses. So it's almost a 50-50. It's almost a split. With popcorn being just a little bit more interesting. All right, what would you cope best without, television or internet? Oh, well. All right, A or B, what would you think that I would cope best without? Would it be television or internet? What do you guys think? Neon Bomb is in. Mishy, Tia. Anybody else? Almost down, almost down. I put in 45 seconds just to kind of let everybody get in there. And everybody agrees, yes, I could get rid of television, which I pretty much already have. I stream everything that I watch off the internet, so yes. Yeah, most of it is television. Let's see here. Do you think artificial intelligence is dangerous to the human race? What do you guys think? Is it which do I feel is dangerous to the human, or do I think it is dangerous to the human race? A or B? Yes or no? You feel like writing a song? Well, write a song, Iron? Yes, I do think it is dangerous. We're gonna end up in a war. What do we got? What do we got? Ah, 66% said yes. All right, what's the coolest room to have in a mansion? A private cinema or an indoor swimming pool? Make your vote. What do you think I said? Did I say a private cinema or did I say a swimming pool? Put A or B in the chat. And Iron Goat, this is what I would say. So just to let you know, these are, you're trying to guess what I would say. Q. I could have picked swimming pool. You don't know. I'm just saying. I 100% love movies. You think so, huh? And you're right. I love movies, and I would love to have a private cinema. I don't know how often I would use a swimming pool if I had one. Pretty even. All right, who is Neon Bomb is 100%. Look at you go, my mod. Yes, Iron Goat, you play this too. Which bad habit are you more likely to be guilty of? Burping or coffee breath? All right. Which one? Oh, it even took it as you put burping in. Interesting. Who is Cutie Pie? This Cutie Pie is me. Hi, McCastern. What do you think I'm more guilty of, McCastern? Per A or B in there? A for burping, B for coffee breath. Oh, Tia, thank you for the subscription. I love you. All right. Is burping, Neon? Burping. I don't drink coffee all that often, actually. I drink it very rarely. So burping would be the one I am most guilty of. 63% said burping. All right. What is the worst song for a bride and groom to share their first dance to? Devil Woman or Every Day I Love You Less and Less? So, what do you think I'm going to say? So go ahead and put in your answers now. What is the worst? What would I say? What is the worst? And yeah, I got this. I think actually this was free on Steam. It was, I was like, oh my gosh, this is an awesome game, a way of you guys getting to know me and us to, have stuff to talk about. If I trick you, you're gonna cry? How would I trick you? Everybody agrees. Yes. Every Day I Love You Less and Less. That would be a bad song for a bride and groom to have their first dance to. And it looks like the majority of people agree with us. All right, have you ever been out with a friend and had someone mistake you for being in a romantic relationship? Looks like you know me. Okay, go ahead and put that in there. A for yes, B for no. McCaster, a little bit quick on the draw there. I don't think it got yours. Aw, Iron Goat, you're sweet. So, Neon, it looks like you know, my mods are having a competition here, you know. So, let's see who knows me better. I put this on for too long. All right. And yes, I have been out with a friend and had myself mistaken by his mother. His mother thought that we were together. It was really funny. His mom is Vietnamese, and it was after I went to a funeral with him, and we were outside talking, and his mom came up to me and she's like, we should all go out to lunch. And she looked at me and she was like, and we can go to McDonald's or wherever you'd like to go. Oh my gosh. It was hilarious. Do you think it's appropriate for someone to have a baby shower for their third child? What do you think I said? A or B? I didn't even know you can actually type out the answer. Interesting. Stance on kids? Beaver bullshit. I love you, Tia. All right, what'd I say? I said yes, it's appropriate. Iron Goat. I said yes just for the viewers. No. Yeah, Bob. 83%. McCaster and 50. Look at you guys. Neon, you lost your perfect score. The final round. If you could choose one, what would you change about yourself? Oh, well, what do you guys think? If I could change one thing, what do you think I would change? A or B? And it's okay. Whichever one you choose, I'm not going to be mad at you. McCaster, you're going to make me blush. You abstain. Abby. Whichever you choose, you guys, whatever you choose, A or B, I'm not gonna get upset. Q. Look at that. I said what? Everyone disagrees. My teeth are pretty straight. I mean, I've got a little bit of you know, some crappiness in there, but yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to lose weight. I've lost 20 pounds in 6 months, so I'm very proud of myself for doing that. But I definitely want to lose some more, for sure. You picked for yourself. All right, choosing my answer. Should terminally ill patients be allowed to end their lives via assisted suicide? What do you guys think I said? Thanks, Tia. I'm proud of myself, too. All right, A or B, guys. A or B? As a lover of murders. Do 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 do. I said yes. If someone is terminally ill, like there is no hope, it is, you know, it's just there. If they want to end their life, I feel like they should have the right to do so. %. You didn't know what that was? Yes. I mean, Iron Goat, yes. You probably would not know that. Final matchability. Who knows me best? Neon Bob still has it. With it looks like McCaster. So both my mods know me pretty well. Both my mods know me pretty well. Alright, let's play again.
Here we go again.
Let's go again. Let's go. Alright. Which alcoholic drink do I prefer? Mulled wine or rosé wine? McCastern. Yeah. He's like, easy. Come on, Tia, you're my wine sister. A or B? I know what rosé is, so that's my pick. Do you know what rosé is, Iron Goat? You are 13 years old. You should not know that kind of thing. Woohoo! Everybody knows me, rosé wine. I don't even really know what mulled wine is. You think your mom got some? It's not great? Yeah. But it does the job, right? What would I rather do? Would I rather take a shower with my clothes on or crack an egg over my head? What do you guys think I chose? I think it did, Tia. McCaster. Hey, yogurts! I thought you were going to sleep, yogurts. But I'm glad that you're here. Alright. Yep. Crack an egg over my head. McCaster got it right. I could always take a shower after I crack it over my head. Is this how you win a date with me? Girl, you already got me. You know that. We going on a date after COVID. Yes. All right. What film genre do I prefer? Do I prefer horror or do I prefer comedy? What do you guys think? Try again, Iron. I don't think I got it. Hi, Sirkron! You're second guessing yourself? It's 4 a.m.? Well, I don't think that it counted you, Zircon, because of the star after yours. So if you want to put A in there again. A cope-out? You mean cop-out? If you're wrong, Ponderings is wrong. And it's comedy! As much as I like serial killers and such, horror is not usually my go-to. I do like some horror, but comedy is usually what I go for first. All right, have I ever had an interview for a job that I didn't get? What do you guys think I said? You lost a bit of what? Of respect? What do you guys think? Have I ever lost or have I ever not gotten a job that I interviewed for? Yep,
that's really
everybody
cute.
agrees. Yes, I think everybody has, right? Interview, it goes with the, it goes with the territory. That's closer than I thought it was going to be. All right, what's my current matchability? Neon is at 100%. Everybody else, 75 and 50, and Zircon, you got 25% just because you just got here, so. All right, round 2. Have you ever had a romantic partner whom, when you met them, you didn't like? What do you guys think? A or B? Well, it's 4 a.m. Yeah. That old man is gonna haunt you. A or B, guys? Neon. Neon, you better put something in so you can protect your 100%. Have I ever had a romantic partner whom, when I first met them, I didn't like? Yeah. So I have actually the last boyfriend that I had, my boyfriend Scott, that I dated for 9 years. When I first met him, I really don't even remember meeting him. I didn't really, like, he didn't make an impression on me. So yeah, kind of funny. Wow, it's a 50-50 split. Interesting. You misread the question. Do you think your school reports accurately reflect what kind of person you are today? My school report. So I'm guessing that means, like, my grades. I'm pretty sure. My gosh, that was so long ago. A or B, guys? McCastern. You should stay just until the final round, just to see what you get. I don't know why, but my dog is whining at me so bad. I think she's trying to tell me she has to go potty. You're gonna lose. I misread the questions. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, if you are tired, then yeah, you might misread the questions. That's true. All right, what'd I say? Yeah, no, they would not reflect who I am today. But yeah. Aw, Tia. All right, here's the next one. Who do you prefer to spend your birthdays with? Friends or family? What do you guys think? A or B? Who do I prefer to spend my birthdays with? Good night, Tia. I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Yeah, I think this will be my last one because I've got to take the dog out and then get something to eat for myself. A or B, folks? We got Mishy and Neon. What?
Isn't that cute?
Everybody agrees. Isn't that cute? Yeah, I'd prefer to spend them with my friends. That's pretty close. Alright. What would I prefer? To be ugly at school and grow up beautiful, or to be beautiful at school and grow up ugly? Well, that's a hard choice, but A or B, guys? A or B? A or B? A or B? Looks like everybody's going to sleep. Ba, 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 ba. Or swan bitch. And it would be to be ugly at school and grow up beautiful. It's kind of how I feel like it happened with me. I felt like I was kind of the odd one at school, which I think a lot of people do. But the odd one at school, and then I really grew into myself as I got older. And it seems like most of the people agree. All right. Mishy, you got 90. Neon, you really went down there. All right. Final round. This is the last round, guys. When you were growing up, who do you think was harder on you? My mother or my father? What do you guys think I said? A or B, folks? You peaked at school? Oh, no. Yeah. All right, guys. A or B? It's true. Both can be very tough.
That's really cute.
It's B. I lived with my dad when I was growing up, so I would definitely say he was harder on me. Stop. It'll be just a moment. My goodness. All right, let's go. Do you think you're more intelligent than the average person? What do you guys think I said? A or B? Do I think I'm more intelligent than the average person? Oh, stop. Why are you acting like this? She's like shaking and looking at me. Poor thing. I'll take you out in just a moment. You can hold it. You're okay. Everybody agrees. Yes, I mean, so I say that and it makes me sound like I'm like this like conceited person, but I do think that I have a little bit of a higher intelligence, you know, than the average person. I'm not saying I'm a genius by any means at all. But it looks like most people think the same thing. All right, the final matchability. What do we got? Mishy, look at you, 94%. Good job. Well, everybody, that's going to do it for me tonight. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and getting to know me a little bit better. And, you know, during that time, I get to know you a little bit better as well. So I love you all. Have a great evening. Enjoy your night or your day, as it may be, like with Zircon. But I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. I probably will be doing some Twitch things tomorrow, so hope to see you there. Have a great night and a great day. Love you all. Bye.